Hi, I'm Evita Myriam. There was a time in my life when I was adolescent, and my adolescence lasted quite a bit. That happens to many creative, artistic people. I remember I was in late adolescence and I was terrified of dying. I didn't know what would be, actually, I was not actually terrified of dying, of the way of dying. But I was terrified of the what happened afterwards. I didn't know. All these mysteries attracted me and repelled me at the same time. And I would be affected by all these collective fears that ring so true that people use to put fear in you and to control you. So I have this advice for you. Do not allow anyone to control you through fear. If someone is giving you a way out of your misery, if someone is giving you a way out of your problems, is leading you in a direction, make sure that there is no fear involved. If you're afraid of them, if you're afraid of any of the steps that you have to take to follow them, don't do it. They're false prophets, 100%. One is that. Then I remember I didn't know there are angels exist. I didn't know if God existed. I didn't know anything. I was a bit lost. And then I remember I had this friend. I was an artist and I made this painting. And on the painting, I painted the Om symbol. It was like a cup with a drop of light in the sky of my landscape, which was quite abstract. And it was tilted. And then that friend visited me on the same night and he said, look, I have this book for you. And that book was a book of Omram Ivanov, Mikhail Omram Ivanov, a great teacher, but he's a bit strict. He doesn't, he's wonderful, but he's too strict now for me. There's so many restrictions, that regarding every aspect of our lives. But he's truly on the path of evolution, and he's a holy man. And he brought me this book, and he said, "Look, Evita, because I know you don't know which way to go. Take this. This is the path of good." It's like one of the paths, right? So I opened it, and there was this man, a photograph of him, and in the photograph had come out in the photograph this symbol of the Om, exactly an Om made of light, a cup with a drop of light tilted in the same degree, exactly as in my painting, which I had finished on that day. And I didn't know what it meant, right? I didn't know what that cup with the light was. So I was wondering, what is that in the sky of my landscape? And then this man brought me the book. I open it and I see that symbol, that light in the photograph. And everybody was in awe at that photograph because it was amazing that this would appear, right? And he said to me, look, it's a vast universe. Why do you want to be alone in it? You can't be alone. You have to ask help from God and from the angels, from the saints, from whoever you trust and you consider to be good. And you will always have protection as long as you ask for it. Isn't that more intelligent than going into that vast universe on your own? He was so nice, this man. I'm so grateful because the moment he said that, I said, angels? What angels? He said, yes, angels. And he was not the one who told me first that there are angels. But when my first mentor told me, he said to me that, of course there are angels. Why don't you ask their help and you'll see the outcome? I was, really? Are you sure? Now, I have written a book called Pollux, which proves the existence of the angelic kingdom via arithmosophy. It's been decades since those experiences I'm describing. And that was my beginning in the path of wisdom and of spirituality. And since then, I have become a pranic healer, an arhatic yogi, and an expert on arithmosophy, and was downloaded certain proofs that are amazing, and they prove that there is divine intelligence. They prove that there is the angelic kingdom, and they're in my book, Pollux. So just don't believe anyone who gives you fear. And know that all you have to do is ask, ask, and you shall receive. Ask for protection, ask for love, ask for guidance, and you will see. It is obvious there is good and evil. You can't believe only in evil. You know, people say, yes, there is so much evil in the world, but I don't believe in God. I don't. So you believe only in evil? There has to be polarity. There's good and evil. Make a choice. Make the good choice, right? It's good for you. Evil will always double cross you. Evil will always lie to you and take you to a worst possible outcome. Whereas good is going to make your heart open. You will feel good about yourself. You'll have no guilt and shame. You can leave the past behind and say, I have changed, right? I've done this. I have changed many times. And then this inspires others to change as well. No guilt, no shame. Leave the past behind. You are the ones who will decide who you are. Pythagoras says, think for yourself. My teacher, Master Choa Sui, says, I don't want you to believe in what I say. I want you to validate it through, your own senses, through pranic healing with the energy touch, where we can validate everything through that. And Lord Jesus said, seek and you shall find. I mean, there are so many, you have to read the scriptures. I don't know the exact translation from Greek. And the Buddha said, don't believe in anything, just find it, just seek. So everybody, all the wise people in the world have said the same. You have to think for yourself. Don't, if someone feels threatening, if you're afraid of breaking free from the, someone who is influencing you, who you think is bad, and perhaps they've got you and they will do something to you if you leave them, it's in your mind, their power over you. It's in your mind. If someone is blackmailing you, go to the police and report them. If someone is threatening you physically, do the same, do that. If someone is implying threat, I don't want to show which finger to show them. You know what I mean. Don't buy it. These people feed energetically. I mean, they thrive by putting people under fear. Don't let anyone scare you. Don't let anyone take you with them in a dark path. Don't let anyone impress you if they pull the cards and they said something that was right and they were right about it, and then you have to follow them. No, anyone. I can pull the cards anytime and it's going to be right because I'm reading your unconscious, right? Your own soul will tell me. That doesn't mean they're right in everything. You have to question everything you're told from every source, always, from the government, from any person who looks like they have authority on internet, everything. You have to really question everything. And you have to know that whatever is true is going to ring well, it's going to ring true in your heart, not in your mind, in your gut, in your butt, in your heart. It has to make your heart open with safety, with love, with happiness. That is true. Your family is first. Your loved ones are first. Your pets are first. Your loved ones, your pets are first. Everything else follows. And then humanity, right? We love everything and everyone. You want peace. Choose peace. Peace is so much better than anything else, and you deserve it no matter what you have done in the past. You deserve peace and love and happiness, prosperity, spirituality. Spirituality is not blind faith. It is knowing that we are all one with a higher soul, and from there on with God. God is the total, the universe says we can't communicate directly with God. We communicate through our soul, right? You have to be connected with your soul first. That was I intended to have a 1-minute video, but I got carried away, as always, out of love. Because what's the point in knowing anything if you don't give it to others, right? Good luck. Just trust yourself.